watching the ball go over the wall, and the taste of peanuts and Cracker Jacks. There's nothing like it. It's America's pastime. From the first pitch to the final out, you can hear every game right here on your home for Alabama baseball.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beams likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for standby generator from Current Electric. Storms may range outside, but inside your family's powered up. Why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Would you call a plumber for a root canal? The same goes for selling your timberland or farm. Choose someone who understands your property and can help you on the front end so you can capitalize on the back end. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction. As a guide, I have put many hunters in position to take a shot. It's time for you to take your shot. Let's talk about putting you in position to sell your property. Call me at 256-609-0512. Remember, Bo knows land.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
And away we go here on a Tuesday. Live in studio, walking up to Braves and Blue Jays. Braves looking for back-to-back wins this season for the first time. They are 5-11, but that certainly doesn't stop Braves reporter Wiley Ballard from picking up some of his own digits.
A lot of fun up here up the Corona rooftop. Who do we got here? What's your name?
My name's Lauren.
Lawrence, all right.
And I'm Kayla.
Kayla, and you guys hang out at the rooftop lounge often?
Once a year, I come out to visit.
Okay, well, we timed it pretty well. All right, good. How are you guys doing root for the Braves today?
Oof, I don't know. I'm hoping for the best.
What about you? Are you a Braves fan now?
Not quite.
Not quite. All right, I'm gonna go to work up here, guys. Good luck the rest of the way.
Okay, Wiley. You got 4 innings to get the numbers.
Come on it. Come on it.
Get us some more Braves fans.
All right, so they want me to get your number.
They want you to get my number.
I'm dead serious.
How about that move from the young lady?
She thinks you guys are not. I'm making this up.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you guys weren't, I might use that in the future. That's actually a pretty good move.
This is unbelievable.
There was a base hit
the
right
best part
there.
of this right now is that Wiley could totally be faking it. This might be the new move. Just walk around with a FanDuel microphone and an earpiece in and convince fans that they're actually on TV.
I should have thought of this years ago.
She delivered the number to Wiley. I mean, she's
really?
literally putting in the digits. It could have been a fake number for all I know.
Well, of course.
But nonetheless, well done, Wiley Ballard.
Well, I
happened to be around 2 young blonde women that are just
I certainly
happen to be
hope.
enjoying the baseball game.
I certainly hope that he, when he calls to make that date, and it's the Atlanta Department of Sanitation, that it all goes well.
So that is that picked up a little bit of steam. It just,
I can imagine so.
But I will tell you, believe it or not, while that game was going on, we were knee deep in softball here over the airwaves of 97.7 ESPN The Zone. I said softball. Big series down in Tuscaloosa and a walk-off as well for the Alabama Crimson Tide. How did it sound there, Tom Canterbury?
This is what makes it great. Now for Alabama, this is what you want.
First pitch to Audrey Vandergriff. That one's flying to left. That one's back. Oh, God! Audrey Vandergriff with a walk-off solo homer here in the bottom of the 8th, and the Crimson Tide lead wins it 2-1.
The walk-off right there in 8 innings, and we literally joined Braves radio while it was in the 9th inning. So that was a rather long softball game yesterday. But both the Alabama softball team winners, Braves winners yesterday as well. So
it's good.
It's all positive information right there, right out of the gate. Some more positive information. How about this? I think we're nearing capacity for our 3rd annual charity golf tournament
wow. That's
to
good.
Make-A-Wish Foundation. But if you're an individual or you're a team of 4, it's more economical to be a team of 4. But just email 977WZZNevents@gmail.com. That's 977WZZNevents, plural, @gmail.com. So we may have a couple of teams left, but there's not many from what I understand. And we are putting together the goodie bags today as well, walking through that. And we've got ourselves, I don't even know if I want to, has it been said out loud what we're giving away? I don't even know.
You know, just from what I saw set out, it's almost worth it to join just for the goodie bag.
I don't think I'm allowed to say exactly what we're giving away, but if you have been to every year there's been a nice bag of sort that we stuff with. I'll just say we've got another nice bag.
Yeah, you can say
generically, and say it like that.
Well, maybe like you could pack it on your back.
Very well may be. Yeah.
No,
But you'll need to.
It's quality. It's quality.
And weather looks okay for next Monday. Right. This is what Wednesday or Tuesday.
Don't worry about it. It's just going to slow you down a little bit on your putts. Don't worry about it.
977WZZNevents@gmail.com to get locked into our charity golf classic, courtesy of Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Appreciate the fine folks out there at Eagle for once again being our presenting sponsor for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, where we have given Make-A-Wish $10,000 each of the 2 previous years.
And
so
we look to at least do that much this year.
I can only hope so. So again, if you'd like to go out and play some golf or just participate, just shoot us an email there.
Well, to tie it into the day, it's a great return on your investment.
Yeah, it is.
It is a great return on investment. And another great return on your investment is zone deals.
That's right.
If you go to 977ESPN.com, up in the top or left corner, you'll see something that's saving never tasted so good. All sorts of great deals, including Cherokee Ridge, where we're going to have the tournament next week. Gunner's Landing is on there. Also, lots of great food in there.
Yeah.
Easily double your money. You get $50 at the restaurant. You get $50 for $25. You get $50 worth of gift cards for $25. You get a great discount on playing golf. Weather's getting a lot better. It's Easter, so we're about done with frost now. It's time to get out and dust those clubs off. And after you get all warmed up and everything from playing in the tournament next week, you can save a lot with zone deals. 977 ESPN. It'd be pretty easy from there. Even got a slider there. So if you just want to look at people's faces, and then you'll see one slide there for the zone deals.
And you'll completely understand why I understand why radio stations are putting themselves on YouTube. I really do.
Right.
But for the life of me, I don't see why you have to put it on the host's face all the time. I'd much rather have, a slab of ribs.
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
Some kind of something I want to look at.
However, you and Drew at Carrabba's last week looked absolutely fun. Looked like a scene out of The Godfather. It really did.
They set us up in the corner over there at Carrabba's.
You had a nice beverage, and you had some lovely looking food, and waiters coming by and bringing you the bread and the stuff to dip the bread in.
Yep.
Oh my, that's I had to get fettuccine wheezy to go home to the wife just from watching that.
Well,
take their microphone, leave the cannoli.
You can. Do I see Carrabba's still up there? They may be out of certificates at the moment. I am not seeing them on the rundown right now.
You know what I do? I've got on my browser. I just went ahead and bookmarked the zone deals.
Yeah.
And I just pop it up there and just look every day to see what's popped in and see what's good.
Well, I know Metro Diners this week's feature deal coming up, and you can go ahead and grab those up right now for Metro Diner. The boys in the morning will be over there Friday morning.
Oh, fantastic.
So
Metro Diner, they do a fantastic chicken pot pie. It is comfort food. It is a hug from the inside out. It is wonderful. And zone deals are a great way to do that. It's the only way guaranteed to double your money is with zone deals.
Coming up on the program today, we are going to talk a little Tennessee football as well as a little bit more of the inner workings here. The man in the know, that would be one Jimmy Himes, is set to join us here in about an hour's time. We'll talk to him about Nico. But Myron Metcalf had this to say about this whole situation. I'm not disagreeing with what Myron had to say about what we all are witnessing to with this stage of college football that we're all living through.
Are we surprised by what has been created when there are no rules, when these third-party collectives are running the show, and now all of a sudden you let a whole bunch of kids into Candyland and gave them a bag and didn't give them any limitations, and now you're surprised everybody's got cavities and everybody's got to go to the dentist? This is what was created. And until someone stops and says, everything we've done at this point is wrong, everything we've done to date is off, because the House settlement and the rev share ain't going to solve all these problems. Until we rebuild this whole thing, we're going to have more situations like this. You can make Nico the poster child of this if you want to. The reality is there are a whole bunch of Nicos. Y'all just don't know their names because it didn't play out publicly the way that this did.
Completely fair. That from Myron Metcalf there from ESPN Radio. It just, how many times are you going to leave the door open and be surprised to someone pop in your house? There is certain situations when you leave stuff a certain way. How can you be surprised about, say, a portal window opening up tomorrow, right, Coach DeBoer? How do you feel about that, Coach?
Yeah, I really hope that we can. And when related to the portal in general, you never know, right? that possibility always exists, but I do feel good about our team and our roster as far as the general chemistry. Guys feeling like they're continuing to be developed, that they continue to have a chance to compete and have an opportunity here. I feel like that's the case at the quarterback position too. And Austin's growth, again, going back to where he was at, not even just a year ago, but just middle of the season, seeing him continue to go this way. And, 3 isn't very many, but it's probably the number we're going to have to be at quarterback. That's, what we're expecting here going into the fall. So had 4 last year. I think that's kind of a unique situation. I've had 3 many times in the last few years, and you're always on edge. And the rest of the team has heard stay away from the quarterback more than they've ever heard it in their entire life this spring for sure. So, a lot of questionable sacks that I didn't call the defensive line, felt like they got wronged on and cheated on by me because I own the quarterback whistle. And, they got to stay away, but yet, they got to get close enough to get a sack and blow the play dead. But we stayed away from the quarterback, make sure those guys are all healthy and upright.
So that is a little bit there from Coach Kalen DeBoer talking to the media yesterday. And the portal does open tomorrow. And we certainly do know one big name SEC quarterback that is going into the portal. I don't think I'm breaking any news with Nico. But with what happened, how it broke down overall moving forward, we played a little bit from Josh Heupel yesterday. Got peppered pretty good in the Q&A part yesterday by the media. Here's a little bit more from Josh Heupel talking over the weekend.
Man, if it's going to happen, rip the Band-Aid too. At the end of the day, we got a lot of great work for the 2 guys that are here, and we got a chance to move forward as a program. So it's unfortunate, just in the landscape of college football that this happens at this point. But, I told our coaches yesterday afternoon when we had a staff meeting, I said, if it's going to happen, and sometimes it happens through injury, game 5, game 6. I've had it in my career where I lost starting quarterback before we started training camp, the day of the start of training camp. And at the end of the day, this is the greatest team game there is. That group where we lost them on day 1, they rallied together. Adversity, when it strikes, you got 2 choices. It can bring you together or divide you. That group came together and ultimately went on and won a conference championship that year. And this group inside of that locker room, they're tough, they're competitive, they care about each other, and we got to grow together.
Josh, what were you dealing with Nico and his representatives in the last 72 hours, and when and why did you make the decision to move on?
Yeah, we had Wednesday was a practice day. Thursday, our players were off, and Friday was the first time that we were back in the building as a team. And that was just kind of the structure of the week in the lead up to the spring game, giving those guys a day off. I'm not going to get into the details of everything and the timing of that. That's just in fairness to both parties. But at the end of the day, he's moving on. We're moving on too, and we'll be ready to roll when we get to next fall.
Yeah, Josh, without getting into those details, when was it apparent to you that you would be moving forward?
Friday morning, when he's a no-show, you come off the practice field and there's no communication.
That is a little bit more there from the press conference that took place on Saturday. We were a little bit squeezed for time yesterday. Now, one thing that I have noticed looking it up is that Vegas has tweaked a little bit of what they believe is now the win total for the Tennessee Vols. As at least as it stands right now, where are you? Heading into the offseason, Tennessee was tied with Alabama behind both Texas and Georgia for your odds-on favorite to win the Southeastern Conference. Now, not so much, as the Vols are now set at 8 wins for the college football season. This, according to the odds makers in Las Vegas, as they are believing that the futures now is the Tennessee overall win total is set at 8.5 wins this year for Tennessee. Now, listen, Josh Heupel is getting a lot of positive praise and a lot of attaboys and a pats on the back. But ultimately, what do fans remember? And that is wins and losses. And I do wonder how much leeway, given all of these good vibes here in April, that people are going to remember when it's mid-October and things aren't going so well, because even the guy that you were leaning on the most last year in Dylan Sampson is gone. So a lot was made.
How long is the honeymoon?
A lot was made about this particular, how this lined up in terms of starting progression and being in the system, and everybody bought into Nico. People are naming dogs after Nico, and the Tennessee fan base is just fully supportive. But once we get to mid-October, this is a bottom line deal. And Tennessee fans are you're a bit more patient than Gator fans. Well, maybe I can't say that, because they actually kept Billy this time around, which surprised me a little. But it's a big year for Billy in Gainesville too. Vol fans, I'd like to hear from you when it gets mid-October, and you know what? I'll set it after the Alabama game. Let's say, I think that game's in Tuscaloosa this year. If Tennessee were to drop the game to Alabama, and you know what? Let me dive into exactly the ESPN stats and info page here for the Tennessee Volunteers. Now, keep in mind, this page from ESPN stats and info still has Nico as part of the Vols, because technically he is still part of the Vols. Portal opens tomorrow. So Tennessee opens in Atlanta against Syracuse. Let's see here. Then East Tennessee State, then Georgia, UAB, at Mississippi State, open date. Arkansas at home, at Alabama. I mean, come on now. So 8.5 wins is what I told you the win total from Vegas, this after Nico is supposedly leaving, which we all know that he is leaving. After the Bama game, it's at Kentucky, host Oklahoma, open date, then New Mexico State at Florida, and host Vanderbilt. That is the schedule for the Tennessee Volunteers. In fact, this is a Tennessee team that went 10-3 last year, 6-2 in SEC play. So you got Bishop back. You've also got Arian Carter back in terms of tackles, leadership coming back. A lot coming back defensively for the Tennessee Vols as well. This is tough. Jimmy Himes is going to join us at the top of the hour, but Vol fans, I'd like to hear from you at 256-576-4977, the telephone number. Now, keep in mind, a lot has been made about multi-year starters under Josh Heupel. Dylan Gabriel was a multi-year starter, and his QBR went up by 10. Hendon Hooker was a multi-year starter under Josh Heupel, and his QBR went up big time in the second year. Now, we will never know about Nico, because his QBR was roughly around the same as year one for both Hendon Hooker and Dylan Gabriel, but we will not know that. Let's talk to Josh from Huntsville. Josh, appreciate you calling in. How are you today?
Good. How y'all doing today, guys?
Doing real well.
I just wanted to chime in on Nico and what you were just talking about. And you know, I mean, I think Josh Heupel is a wonderful coach, and he's done a fantastic job. But with that being said, with Nico, I feel like they had the upper hand against Georgia and Gunnar Stockton. And even though I'm a Crimson Tide fan, diehard, I feel like they had the upper hand on us, and we're at home, you know. So without Nico, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you lose to Georgia, you lose to Florida, you lose to Alabama, and you're going to have a lot of Tennessee fans real upset.
So, say you lose to Alabama, Vol fans, if you lose to Alabama, and even at that point of your season, I'm assuming you'll be above 500 because I went through it. Syracuse, East Tennessee State, Georgia is a home game, then UAB at Mississippi State, open date, Arkansas, then at Bama. I mean, what? I'm looking at minimum 3 losses right there. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 L's to me right there, including Alabama. Let's see, you lose to Georgia, you lose to Alabama, and I'll throw one out as like a surprise, either Mississippi State or Arkansas. It just whichever, which I know fans would not be thrilled about that either. But if I set it at 3 losses after the 3rd week in October, I mean.
Yeah, now, you know, now that you put it that way, without Nico, that's not too bad of a season.
Well, keep in mind the back half is at Kentucky, and that's always a rock fight between those two schools. Then Oklahoma at home. At least it's a home right there. Open date, New Mexico State at Florida, then host Vanderbilt. So, well, keep in mind the back half is at Kentucky.
Yeah, man, I don't know. It's a weird situation, but I do commend Josh Heupel on what he did, though, because I feel like we were kind of getting out of hand with the NIL, and, you know, it was time to stand up and say, okay, enough is enough, you know, and I do commend him for that, and I feel like that's going to go a long ways in the future.
You think that'll buy him maybe an extra loss or 2 this fall?
It's probably going to. However, he might get something in return in the long run. He might get a good QB down the road.
Yep. You never know. We will find out when that portal opens up tomorrow, Josh.
Hey, yes, sir, we will. Hey, guys, I love the show, man. Y'all have a good one, fellas.
Thank you, Josh. Let's talk to Bryce before our first time out. How are you, Bryce? Good afternoon.
Hey, good. Listen, has anything been announced if Sam Shade is going to bring Antonio Latham with him?
I don't know that for 100% certainty. I can look up the Alabama, because I know the spring game is already concluded there up on the hill. But I can take a look. Have you taken a look at the coaching staff yet, and to see if they've populated that page up there on that website?
I haven't.
Okay. Well, I'll try to. I hope so. It'd be nice to get Coach Colley up here in these parts.
Yeah, I figured he had an opportunity to come closer to home. He would. And another thing, I noticed they had the Madison County and Huntsville Hall of Fame last night.
They sure did. Yeah.
And Cecil Hurts was on it.
He sure was.
From Huntsville, was.
Yeah, he went to Butler High School. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes, sir, he
Wow.
did. Yeah.
I appreciate you letting me know that advice. I did not know that.
I
always heard him from Tuscaloosa, you know.
I know he spent plenty of time down in Tuscaloosa, but no, he's a Butler Rebel through and through.
Oh, I did not know that. I appreciate you telling me that information. And this thing about Nico, the best thing can happen on this deal if he gets less money he was getting at Tennessee, and that'll make these people think about letting these people lead them in the wrong place.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has nothing as much to do with Nico. It has to do with parents. is where I'm thinking this is at.
Just to answer your initial question to me, Bryce, you do not see Antonio on the coaching staff.
Ooh, come on.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't right now, but I don't see a special teams coach. I see an associate head coach, a defensive coordinator, and Chris Schelling, but I don't see a secondary coach. So that might be available potentially to Antonio Langham.
Ooh, come
So
on.
They don't have a secondary coach. So maybe they're trying to get everything worked out then.
I don't know. I'm speculating.
Maybe so.
There's a special teams coordinator, but no secondary coach at the moment.
Uh-huh. So you said Chris Schelling, wasn't that the quarterback that played at Alabama Christian? Was it the one at South Carolina? Is that the one?
No. Let's see here. He was on the staff at Miles, but let's see here.
Chris Schelling. That name rings a bell.
Let's see here. Bachelor's degree from Auburn, played under 4 seasons under Coach Terry Bowden at Auburn.
Okay, that's where I heard that name from. Oh, I saw a list that 2 of our universities in the area made the top universities in the small town college. Did you see that?
I did not.
UNA was number 1, and Jacksonville State was number 3.
Nice.
Yeah, Jacksonville, Alabama, and Florence, Alabama. So they were number 1 small town towns in America, which I thought that was great.
I'll vouch for both of those.
Yeah. Appreciate that, Bryce. Yeah. Appreciate the phone call.
I know Brian's excited about that deal.
Yeah, it's the loveliest village and the friendliest campus in the South.
Oh, well, North Alabama has a nice campus too.
They do. They have a very nice campus.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all letting me talk.
Absolutely.
The boss, he's not with y'all.
I have no idea what's going on right now.
Considering what day it is,
there might be.
I wouldn't blame him who just went home.
Yeah. Very well.
Right,
very well might be the case.
Guys, I appreciate it, and thanks for the. If y'all hear anything else about Antonio, let me know.
I will.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Bryce. Let's go ahead and take our first time out. We'll continue along here on this Tuesday edition of The Drive. Come on back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ford Motor Company. From America, for America. Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford with a real quick quiz. Out of all the manufacturers, do you know which auto company employs the most hourly workers in America? Ford. Do you know which company assembles the most vehicles in this country? Ford. That's not just a coincidence. It's a commitment. A 120-year-old commitment to build in America for America. And during this unprecedented moment in automotive history, you stand to benefit big time. Woody Anderson Ford is now offering employee pricing. You pay what we pay. We've got over 190 F-150s for you to choose from with generous finance rates and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 48 years in a row. Employee pricing can save you thousands off MSRP, and with over 600 Fords for you to choose from, there's a good chance you'll find just exactly what you're looking for. This offer ends May 31st, so hurry in. Woody Anderson Ford.
It's an amazing time in our industry. Things are changing so rapidly. With digital signatures and workflow software, we help our customers work from anywhere. This helps you save time and money and upgrade your technology. Like I said, it's an amazing time to watch our customers grow and succeed.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games, and if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title, because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beams likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Rocket City, for air that's cool and clean, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get HVAC smart with Professor Green and the expert team at sensagreen.com. Now offering up to $1,500 off any new Bryant system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyandersonford.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
I am not lost on that music, given the day today, April 15th.
Have you rendered it to Caesar? What is Caesar's?
Oof. Oof.
Caesar's a little ham-fisted this time.
Happy April 15th. Is that what you say out there? I mean,
my philosophy has always been, if you want to dance, you got to pay the band.
Some of us pay the band a little too much.
We hired the Rolling Stones.
And Uncle Sam always needs money for some reason. Just always needs money. 256-576-4977, the telephone number. Dove into a little bit of how much, as Vol fans, are you giving a little bit of grace towards the Tennessee Vol head coach and Josh Heupel coming up this season? It'll be his 5th season. Now, he's 37-15 overall. Keep in mind what he inherited there at Tennessee. He's 20-12 in SEC play. He has yet to go under 500 in SEC play, which to me is a big plus. He went 4-4 in his first year, 6-2 in his second year, 4-4 in 2023, and 6-2 last year. So 20-12 in SEC play. But Vol fans, I mean, I do wonder how patient Vol fans are going to be coming up this fall. Well, the patience ran out of the International Football Alliance on Monday. I know very little about this story, but if you've followed this at all, I need some help with it. Honestly, if you know more about this info, the Alabama Beavers general manager was sent a letter terminating the team from the International Football Alliance on Monday, claiming that the general manager and the team engaged in fraud, deceit, and misconduct. However, a player and the GM say the claims in the letter are false. I'm reading this from WHNT, the local CBS affiliate here in Huntsville, a letter obtained by WHNT, a letter that from the International Football Alliance Director of Operations, Jason Adams sent to the Alabama Beavers ownership, the general manager being C.J. Dinkert, letting them know that the franchise was formally terminated from the league. Now, on the other side, the flip side of it is that the Beavers told the International Football Alliance to pound sand 4 days before they were terminated, evidently. So there is a lot of he said back and forth inside this whole all that is said from the Beavers' point of view is that they are going into a better league. Now, I don't know. They're scheduled to play. I think their first game's supposed to be coming up here pretty soon for the Beavers. So we'll see in that regard. So if you've got some Beaver fever out there and know a little bit more information on that particular story, that sounds like it was a very dirty divorce right there between the International Football Association, I think I said that right, and the Alabama Beavers. The International Football Alliance. See, I got it wrong. International Football Alliance. There you go.
Beaver fever.
Beaver fever. Craig is up next. How are you, Craig?
Oh, how you doing, Steve? Long time.
I know. Where you been hiding?
I've been listening. I just haven't been calling.
Come on now.
Hey, of course, you know I'm a Tennessee fan. I know y'all all do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we do.
Do what now, Steve?
I know exactly that you're a Vol fan.
And I don't think the divorce with Nico is quite as bad as Steve there. It don't sound like to me. But and all the Tennessee fans I've talked to, we're again, there's nobody bigger than school. This NIL stuff is just outrageous right now. Hopefully to get regulated at some point. But if other schools would do this, it might regulate itself. But anyway, no, Tennessee fans are that I've spoke to are just fine with it, and Heupel ain't in no trouble if he just wins 8 games. But I think they're gonna be fine. They'll get the quarterback out of the portal. Help out with the 2 freshmen that they got, or the sophomore and the freshman. Because they got a 4-star out of Brentwood Academy, McIntyre.
Yep.
Come in this year, and they got a couple more coming in next year. That's higher, 5 stars too. So, and Heupel's a great recruiter along with a developer.
Yeah.
Unlike Dooley and Jones, who was the coaches prior to him. Now Jones recruited well, he couldn't develop. Heupel's developed depth. I'm not worried about Tennessee. He's got depth on the offensive line and offense and defense. Defense is going to be good again, if not better, even though they lost a lot of people to the NFL draft, most likely. But anyway, I think they're going to be all right. I've talked too much. Go ahead. Ask me a question, Steve.
Oh, no. So I know it's set at 8.5. So you're telling me 8 wins is good enough for the Tennessee fans this fall?
Well, I'll round that up to 9. 8.5 more than 9 to me.
So now 8 is not good enough. 9 needs to be the winning number.
Not saying that. No, 8 would be fine. Heupel would be no problem. He wouldn't be in. Heupel's in no trouble at Tennessee. Probably, unless he lost every one of them, and he still might not be. But
yeah,
I rounded up to 9. But
he went 7-6 in his first year, then 11-2, 9-4. He's coming off of a 10-3 season. But I mean, he is getting a lot of national love right now. Of boy, look what Josh Heupel did right there. But we're not thinking about the potential October consequence of, hey, you just lost to Georgia, Alabama, and one other SEC school. I'll say Mississippi State, whatever. If you're coming away in late October with 3 losses.
Well, they might have had that anyway.
Well, if they lost to Georgia and Alabama, Georgia being at home early in the season, they might have a better shot this year. They've been playing Georgia later on.
That's true. That's true.
But we'll see what happens there. And Alabama's in Tuscaloosa. You never can tell with a Tennessee-Alabama game. So that's not going to worry the fans none. Now,
Ooh, I think
somebody disagreed with me.
Yes, I think that was maybe Nico's personnel right there.
Well, in Craig's defense, he did say he was having some phone trouble earlier.
Okay. How are you, Wes?
I'm doing good.
So Tennessee's schedule, I was diving into this a little bit more because Josh Heupel is getting so much love right now. Attaboy Josh.
Well, I mean, he deserves it. Listen, this needed to happen. What is he going to do? Pay him $4 million? I mean, think about it. He didn't have a choice. There's a no choice thing. He was going to ruin the team if he hadn't already. The guy didn't play really that great last year.
Had 9 touchdown passes in SEC play, 4 of them against Vanderbilt.
Right. So I mean, the guy he has.
But Dylan Sampson led that team.
Yeah. Well, he has potential, and the guy's a good player. You can either make too much of this or not enough about it. It is what it is, though. I mean, this is nothing Josh Heupel did. This is what the quarterback and his family did. It was done. Josh Heupel didn't have a choice. I'm not sure he had a choice when they signed him. When they signed him and we're going to pay him $8 million, I thought they'd lost their mind. And in the end, this is what I thought was going to happen. It's going to start happening more and more and more. This is it. You heard Coach Saban. When has Coach Saban been wrong? He said this is not sustainable, and it isn't.
Yeah,
there's no question.
I did. That there was a thought from Myron Metcalf from ESPN, and it's hard to disagree with. Played this earlier, but I wanted to let you hear this about this whole incident with Nico.
Are we surprised by what has been created when there are no rules, when these third-party collectives are running the show, and now all of a sudden you let a whole bunch of kids into Candyland and gave them a bag and didn't give them any limitations, and now you're surprised everybody's got cavities and everybody's got to go to the dentist? This is what was created. And until someone stops and says, everything we've done at this point is wrong, everything we've done to date is off, because the house settlement and the rev share ain't going to solve all these problems. Until we rebuild this whole thing, we're going to have more situations like this. You can make Nico the poster child of this if you want to. The reality is there are a whole bunch of Nicos. Y'all just don't know their names because it didn't play out publicly the way that this did.
That is Myron Metcalf.
Well, I mean, all these kids are leaving for a reason. I mean, look at the guy that went from Ole Miss, the wide receiver / tight end, kind of medium guy, Caleb. What was his name? Caleb something. He didn't play a lot last year, but has a lot of talent.
Caleb Downs went from Alabama to Ohio State.
This is the tight end / wide receiver. He was talking about, well, they just love me more here at Ole Miss. In other words, they paid him more. And what it was the Ole Miss offered him a contract. He tried to show it to Alabama, and Alabama didn't think he was worth that money. That's going to happen. It's going to happen. And if what did Alabama pay him last year? They didn't get their money's worth. That was for sure.
Caleb Odom.
Caleb Odom. I think he's from somewhere in Georgia, from
Carrollton, Georgia.
Yeah.
Carrollton, Georgia.
Yeah. So there you go. And he has a lot of promise, and he might be a great player. But he left to the person that showed him the most love. So, I mean, to me, they have to have contracts. There's no way around it. You're going to pay them. They have to have a contract. Collectives don't work. Collectives are gone. It's just a matter of time that you'll see them leave. But, and it was a flawed thing, these collectives.
Mm-hmm.
And the collectives I never really understood them until I talked to the right person. It was a way to get around Title IX. Because the colleges can't get around Title IX. And that's what they're having trouble with.
This court ruling.
This court ruling. Who's some judge out in California that probably can't spell football. So we know what's going on with it. And she's quoted more than anybody else.
She is.
So I'm not sure. And I'm not being hard, but I just don't. None of this makes any sense whatsoever. And when it doesn't make sense, it's just a matter of time before something happens.
Kalen DeBoer spoke to the media yesterday, had a little bit to say on the portal, as well as the quarterback room, and some guy named Ryan Williams down in Tuscaloosa as well, and maybe what to expect out of Ryan Williams coming up this fall. I'll have that for you on the other side. And Jimmy Himes is going to join us at the top of the hour
I've
as
been
well.
told that he might be the best receiver in Alabama.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve. And we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
I'm Abraham, back from my friend Ross Roberts at Valley Equipment Rental. It's springtime, so let's get that garden tilled with a tiller from Valley Equipment. And while you're at it, snag a power washer for the house and the driveway. And if you're putting in a sprinkler system, they have the small trencher that you need. And you can even rent a Skag zero-turn mower and much more to get your property in shape. Valley Equipment, not just for the contractor, but the homeowner as well. 2 locations on the North and South Parkway. Valley Equipment Rental. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Our customers trust us not only to find the right hardware, but to advise them on the technology that makes them more efficient.
My Next Level team researches and discovers real solutions. Check-in software, HR, digital signature, and workflow software. It saves you money immediately. We hold your hand and stay with you through the transition.
We're taking our customers to the next level in business process automation.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky. We are going to be a little bit cooler this afternoon on the backside of a cold front that moved through the Tennessee Valley late last night. Temperatures only climbing into the mid-60s this afternoon, dropping into the lower 40s as we head into the overnight early Wednesday morning. A mostly sunny sky Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 60s, dropping into the upper 40s as we head into the overnight. A fantastic Thursday across the Tennessee Valley, maintaining the sunshine across the area. Temperatures climbing into the upper 60s, some of us looking at the low and mid 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From Coleman to Fayetteville and all points in between.
Son, pull the hammer back. Smokey's coming at you in a plain white wrapper.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Back here with you on the drive, walking you up to some Braves baseball. Braves looking for back-to-back wins for the first time this year. We'll see whether or not that can happen. later on tonight. You can also hear Trash Panda Baseball right now over on Talk Radio WZZN.
They're just getting started against the Montgomery Biscuits down there in Montgomery.
Ham and Knoxville, each at 5-3. They are both 2 games in front of Chattanooga and Rocket City. Both of those ball clubs are at 3.
Now, this is a great time to go ahead and download the Talk Radio WZZN app and keep up with the Trash Pandas all year long, all season long, plus all sorts of great things. We are going to be adding stuff over there for our high school football network.
That's right.
So go ahead and beat the rush. Get the Talk Radio WZZN app.
Just like that. You'll, high school football will be right on top of us here sooner rather than later.
Be here before you know.
Mention Coach Kalen DeBoer was asked about Ryan Williams, and during those media viewing periods, evidently it's been shown to the media of Ryan lining up in the slot, not necessarily just out wide, just going for the slot. And Coach DeBoer had this on that question.
There's a lot of things you can do with Ryan. We never want to take away what he can do when he's out there isolated, but the ability for him, to get inside and get matchups, and he can get matchups against guys, but pretty much against anyone. But I also think that we don't want to just put him in a spot. I've seen slot guys get bracketed and so forth, and so we need to make sure that again that our system allows guys to get to all areas of the field. And because of Germ and because of these other guys, we talk about Isaiah, we can go on and on and on through our roster right now that can go inside or outside. That will allow, Ryan to be able to do that. So, you want the greatness of others to help you become great. And that's something that's really big. It's going to help Ryan have even a bigger season because of the others around him. So, all right. Thank you guys. Roll Tide.
I've been told, like I said before the break, that he might not be the best receiver down there. And this receiving core has the opportunity to be one of the best, if not the best, they've ever had at Alabama.
Ever.
That's Jerry. To me, it was Judy.
Julio.
No, well, I mean, Julio wasn't there. No. It was Judy. There were 3 or 4 number 1 picks.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith, Jerry Judy, Ruggs, and Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. Drake.
No. The Miami Dolphin receiver, 17.
Oh, Waddle. You're talking about
Jalen Waddle. They were all there at the same time.
Forgive me for thinking about Kenyon Drake.
And Mechie was their backup. I mean, you look at that. It's just really – and Mechie was the number 1 pick as well. So you look at all those number 1 picks there, and that's the kind of talk that's coming out of Tuscaloosa. Because they think they have another freshman that's going to be like Jalen Waddle. That's the words were said to me. So we'll see. I got to see it with my eyes. And it's hard to when they're practicing at 8 in the morning. And not on Saturday. On Saturday, it doesn't matter. I can get up and be there. But, when the market's correct and you can't go to scrimmages, there's, at 8 in the morning. So
I'm taking a look at some of these wide receiver cores. Alabama's a lot of good.
Yeah, they've got a lot of good players at every
position. A lot of good wide receivers there at Alabama.
Yes.
Yeah, and I know Kenyon Drake was listed as a running back, but it felt like Kenyon Drake should have been listed as everywhere.
Well, yeah, he was. I mean, they put him everywhere. I mean, he was a utility player, but he would have been the starting running back if it wouldn't have been for this guy named Derrick Henry.
There was Damian Harris on that roster too.
Yeah, no, right. Yeah.
So, I mean,
yes.
Poor thing.
Yeah. I mean, who's the guy that plays for New Orleans that played at Tennessee?
I know who you're talking about.
We got to beat somebody's butt.
And what he was on the Alabama team with
Alvin Kamara,
right?
No, it was Tenpenny, Alvin Kamara, Kenyon Drake, and Derrick Henry. That was their running back class that year. There was one other guy in there, and the only reason I remember him is that he was number 20. Is I used to sit by his mom at the scrimmages, and she was louder than any 80,000.
Well, those are the fans that you really need, right?
Yeah, She was well.
Ones that don't need a microphone.
But him and Tenpenny didn't. They didn't turn out with Tenpenny. God bless him. But he was a popular kid on the team. And then Alvin Kamara went to junior college and then went to Tennessee. And was one heck of a player. So
certainly was.
But that was their running back class in one that year. You know, Coach Saban had a knack for.
You want to call it a knack?
Well, yeah, because he found the people that would do well in the system, and he, you know, that it wasn't 100%. Don't get me wrong, but it seemed to get better and better.
It seemed like it aged like fine wine.
Yeah, I mean, the best class I think was Devontae Smith and
right after 2011,
Harris,
when there was how many NFL players between LSU and Alabama? I think it was like mid-50s.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
that class that came in after that.
No, it was the class that came in the 2019 class, because they played in the 2020 national championship. It was Tua, Waddle, Jerry Jeudy. No, I think Waddle came the year after. Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs was in that class. You look at the
which one are you talking about, 18 or 19?
I think it's 19. It's with
Byron Young is on that one. Let's see here. Trey Sanders is in that class. Evan Neal, Brandon Turnage is in that class of 2019. Talia Tagovailoa.
No, this is the class before that.
Okay, so 18.
Yeah, it was one Tua was in. Tua was in the class. Whichever class Tua was in. Mac Jones was in that class. There's 2 number 1 picks there. Devontae Smith was in that class. Jerry Jeudy was in that class. Henry Ruggs was in that class.
Patrick Surtain was in that class.
He was kind of good.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle. Yeah, this is 2018. Here we go. Jerome Ford was in that class.
Yeah, he's ended up playing. Well, he got beat by Alabama in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He was with Cincinnati. He's played in the NFL too as well, isn't he? Yeah. There were. Who else was in that class? There were a bunch of people in that class.
I don't have time.
Yeah, but I think that's the best class ever in the history of the university. I don't
know. Ford Motor Company. From America, for America. Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford with a real quick quiz. Out of all the manufacturers, do you know which auto company employs the most hourly workers in America? Ford. Do you know which company assembles the most vehicles in this country? Ford. That's not just a coincidence. It's a commitment. A 120-year-old commitment to build in America for America. And during this unprecedented moment in automotive history, you stand to benefit big time. Woody Anderson Ford is now offering employee pricing. You pay what we pay. We've got over 190 F-150s for you to choose from with generous finance rates and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 48 years in a row. Employee pricing can save you thousands off MSRP, and with over 600 Fords for you to choose from, there's a good chance you'll find just exactly what you're looking for. This offer ends May 31st, so hurry in. Woody Anderson Ford.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Sports Center. The NBA play-in tournament begins tonight. I'm Chris Smith. The Magic and Hawks will collide to decide the 7th seed in the East, then a first-round matchup with the Celtics on Sunday. Later, John Morant and the Grizzlies take on Steph Curry and the Warriors in San Fran. It's a battle that Anscape writer David Dennis Jr. says is bigger for Golden State.
This game is absolutely must-win for this Warriors. Like, this is their season. This game is their season. You win this, you do not have to, play another game. You have 5 days rest to go to Houston in a series that is winnable for you if you're the Warriors. You lose this game, you're at very best going to OKC in a series that does not feel winnable for you.
Heard on ESPN Radio's Clinton and Friends. Golden State 0-3 all-time and play in the tournament, including a loss to Memphis in 2021.
And according to ESPN, Shams Charania, Buck star Dame Lillard will miss the start of the playoffs because of a blood clot in his right calf, but doctors believe the veteran guard is making significant progress. Milwaukee plays Game 1 of their first-round series on Saturday against the Pacers. Shams also reporting that Naismith Hall of Famer Joe Dumars finalizing a deal to become the new president of basketball operations for the Pelicans. On to the NFL, where the Dolphins are looking to trade three-time All-Pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey, according to GM Chris Greer. Miami has already paid Ramsey a $4 million roster bonus, so any team that trades for him would be responsible for the remaining $21 million owed to him in 2025. Now, Greer also said the Dolphins aren't looking to trade wide receiver Tyreek Hill, but they'd listen if offered 2 first-round picks.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming on Wednesday, I'll tell you the one mistake each of the top 5 teams need to avoid in the NFL draft. It's unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
.97.7 ESPN The Zone. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Back here with you on The Drive, along with Wes Neighbors, Steve Moulton back here with you.
You really should tune into the show between the shows.
Yeah, you really should. I really tried my best not to turn on that microphone as soon as he was talking about the sandwiches.
Yeah. I have a feeling we use the dump button a lot more.
Well, at the beginning, when there wasn't a dump button, there should have been.
It was just silence.
Yeah.
Awkward silence.
Well, I treat that as like there's either a policy or a sign. There wouldn't be a policy if there hadn't been an incident.
It's amazing people that knew me before the show and people know me now, how my vocabulary's changed. Because the way it was, my dad cussed it just was part of his aura.
A way of saying hello.
Yes. Yeah, nobody ever took offense to it. That's the amazing thing. We talk about that to this day.
I had one job working for a church. I had to tie half my vocabulary behind my back.
That's what
Pastor Dees is going to be on with us on Thursday.
The Padre.
Yeah, the Padre will be here front and center on Thursday. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to talking to Jimmy Himes right now. Jimmy, boy, you may be retired, but there is still a lot to cover up there on Rocky Top. How are you, sir?
How the hell are y'all doing?
We're talking sandwiches, so we're all good.
Just trying to fit in.
Yeah. No.
Why in the world would y'all want to visit with somebody from Knoxville?
I have no idea.
So the first time I ever heard that last name was from you. When the true excitement you had when he was coming to school there. And what a great player he was going to be. And I don't think he ever lived up to being as good as, because he wasn't there long enough. But to me, Tennessee right now, everybody's proud of Tennessee because something needed to be done. And unfortunately, I think they're going to live to regret I'm talking about the kid of what happened, because it doesn't look, I don't think he'll make $2 million next year.
Give me the story from your perspective, Jimmy.
Well, I think Tennessee did the right thing. And just to give you as much background that I know, he signed a 4-year contract with Spire Sports, was a collective for Tennessee. He got paid about $1 million when he was in high school, even before he got to Tennessee. He got paid about $2 million to sit on the bench his first year at Tennessee. He got paid over $2 million last year when they won 10 games and got to the college football playoff. However, he ranked, 10th in the SEC in passing yards per game.
Yeah.
The offense ranked 9th in the SEC in scoring. They didn't get there because of him. He was a quarterback, but they got there because of their defense, because they had a great running back in Dylan Sampson. So then his dad, and I blame it mostly on the dad, has the gall to come back and say, we want $4 million. And first off, Tennessee's like, well, you haven't even earned the money you've made. They paid him over $5 million, and he's won 11 games. Okay? So what is that, $500,000 a win? Something like that. So, I mean, it's ridiculous that they would go demand that. And I have read a number of articles from other people that have said there's not that much interest in Nico out there on the market. And the interest that is there, the schools are saying, well, we pay him $1 million. That's where it's going to start. But the dad wants over, not just $4 million. He wants over $4 million. I don't think they'll get it. I think he's highly overrated. I thought it was ridiculous a year ago that he was mentioned as a Heisman Trophy candidate. I think it's ridiculous that some people mention him as a Heisman Trophy candidate this year. He's a pretty good SEC quarterback, but he's not, in my opinion, one of the 5 or 6 best quarterbacks in the SEC right now. So, and I think Tennessee did the right thing by being held hostage. Here's the thing, too. Let's just pick a school. Let's say he goes to Texas Tech. And let's say he throws 10 touchdown passes in the first 3 games. Is he going to come back and say, hey, I want a raise, I want more money, or I'm not playing in game 4?
We saw that last year from somebody, right?
Well, there was a player at UNLV.
Yeah, that's
didn't
right.
pay money at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't get paid, period.
Yeah.
So he boasted. But if that's the one you're talking about, Wes.
Exactly. The exact just popped in my mind. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah. So with Nico, I mean, I don't know this to be true. There was a report out there that Nico wanted more money to play against Ohio State in the college football playoff game because his family argued, his dad argued, that his NIL deal was only for the regular season, not the postseason.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if that's true, okay? But that's out there. And I can't confirm it. To be honest with you, I don't dig like I used to because I'm supposed to be retired. I hadn't done a very good job of that.
Please.
But,
please.
But I think Tennessee did the right thing. I think most people endorsed it. I don't know if this was fake news or not, but Nick Saban endorsed it, apparently.
Yeah.
I saw something out there from him. So I just, unfortunately, this is where we have come in the landscape of athletics. And I've heard some people say, well, I don't blame him for asking for a lot of money, a lot more money. And I'm a little bit counter to that for 2 reasons. One, he hasn't earned what he's already been paid. But secondly, he does have a contract. Now, I understand it's not binding. I get that. But his contract says that in year 4, you're supposed to get paid $2.7 million, roughly. I don't know if that's an exact number, but that's the number that's been floated out there. So he does have a contract. So basically what you're saying is, although it's not a binding contract, your word is no good. You've got an agreement. It's a written agreement, but it's no good because it's not binding. I think he's going to, and because of his dad, and I think the kid's a pretty good kid. I actually do. I think this is his dad driving this bus, and I think he's driven it off the rails.
So where do you think he lands? First question. Second question, what's Tennessee do?
First question, I think Nico goes out west. There's been some talk about North Carolina, but now it looks like they're focused on the quarterback out of South Alabama. Texas Tech has been mentioned as a possibility. There are some schools out west, UCLA, maybe Cal. There'll be possible because he's from California. I think there's a chance he might go there. And by the way, y'all probably heard the report that his dad actually called Oregon and asked Oregon, how much would you pay my kid to go there?
Yeah.
Dan Lanning's like, nothing. We're not in the market. So I think he'll end up out west, and I don't think he'll get nearly the amount of money that he's requesting. So what does Tennessee do? Tennessee's going to go to the transfer portal and seek a quarterback. Josh Heupel even said that after the spring game. They need it for depth, but they also need it, frankly, to improve their starting quarterback. I don't think they can win many games with Jake Merklinger, a 4-star who I think has a chance to be good, or with the true freshman 4-star George McIntyre. So I think Tennessee's going to go in the portal and try to find a quarterback to upgrade that position. And I also think, guys, that it's probably important that it's a one-year guy. You want a senior. Because if you go out and get a guy in the portal for like 2 or 3 years, well, then you may lose Mecklenburger. You may lose McIntyre.
Yeah.
Heck, you got a 5-star committed for 2026. What's he going to think about that if you go out and get a quarterback that's got 3 years of eligibility left? So I think they need to be careful about that. So my answer would be, they're going to get a quarterback in the portal. How good he's going to be, I don't know. But I also would suggest they should probably go after the best quarterback they can find that has only 1 year of eligibility left, so that you don't hurt your depth even more by bringing in somebody and then losing somebody else on your roster.
So Vol fans have been through quite a bit, and I'm putting a very I'm painting this very broadly. Vol fans have been through a lot, Jimmy, but this feels like just another layer on here where you're again going to ask these Vol fans to be very patient in another fall where
hold on, Steve. They made the playoffs last year.
I know they made the playoffs last year.
What are you talking about patience? Why you? What, I mean, to me, they got a great coach. They got everything they need to win up there, and they have been. They've turned it around.
So Jimmy, is Atlanta still on the table for the 2025 Tennessee Volunteers?
No, and it wasn't on the table with Nico. But I would amend to what you said. I wouldn't say another year of patience. I would just say a year of patience.
Okay.
Because last year, as West Point Nats made the playoffs. So, and a lot of people feel like they overachieved a little bit by winning 10 games with the roster that they had.
Well, the defense was legit, though. The defense was legit, and Nico should have paid Tennessee back some money after the game at the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, and I tell you what's funny about that. That's one of the better games he played.
Yeah.
He was tough. He ran hard. He gave effort. Now I know he only threw for about 100 yards, and they were just outmanned by a better team. There's no question about that. But he wasn't that good, and yet I read just the other day where one writer locally, who I think is nuts, said that they need to pay him the $4 million because he's a Heisman Trophy candidate.
Mm.
No, he's not, and you shouldn't pay him that much. And some people, and very few people. I haven't. That's the only person I have seen that has been in Nico's corner around here. But it was basically you need to go ahead and pay him. Go ahead and suck it up. Overpay him for a year, because if you don't, you're not going to have a very good team. Well, I don't think they were going to be very good anyway. I don't. I think they were an 8-4 team with him, and without him, they're a 6 or 7 win team. I think.
Is that simply just so much losing there defensively as well on this?
No.
The wide receiver core I know is getting gutted as well.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. So here's the way I look at that. And I could be wrong, surely, but they never beat Florida at Florida. Okay, That's one loss.
No.
They're not going to beat Alabama at Alabama. And they're not going to beat Georgia anywhere. Okay? And they have a tendency to lose a game they shouldn't lose. Arkansas last year, Missouri the year before, South Carolina the year before.
Yeah.
So I had them pegged at 8-4. The receiving core is slightly above average. It is not that good. The offensive line has lost 4 starters. They're trying to replenish it by bringing in several transfers, one from Notre Dame, one from Arizona. And both of those project to be pretty good players. And you're losing the SEC Offensive Player of the Year, Dylan Sampson.
Yeah.
They don't have a running back on campus as good as Sampson. So
not many people do.
No. And so that's why I saw Vegas come out with 9.5 a few weeks ago. I'm like, man, I'd have bet Steve's house on that. Taking the under. Yeah. I just don't see them getting to 10 wins. There's no way they were going to get to 10. In my opinion, no way to get to 10 wins. Now I think they've dropped it to 8.5. I'd still go under. But now the defense, again, it's going to be fine. But offensively, your wide receivers didn't show me much of anything last year, including the 5-star who caught 7 passes. And you've lost a great running back, and you've lost 4 starters on the offensive line. Your offense was about the 10th best in SEC games only last year. And that's about where I see him for this year.
So, who do you think who are they looking at? You said South Alabama's.
Gio's going to North Carolina. Gio Lopez, the kid who went to he actually prepped at high school at James Clements, went to South Alabama,
right.
and he's now at North Carolina.
Yeah, that kid's good. I watched him play last year. He's very good.
Let me make sure I state this correctly. There was some talk of Nico going to North Carolina, but they're going to go after the South Alabama kid. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I brought his name up. I don't know who they're going after. I'll tell you the name that kind of intrigues me, and I don't even know who's in the portal. I can't keep up with this. But there's a guy named Luke Altmaier at Illinois.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah, he was at Ole Miss probably for 5 years. Now he's been at Illinois for 3. So he'd be like a 9-year player. But I think he would be a perfect fit. He's a good player. He's a really good passer. He's been around. He knows what it's like in the SEC. He's got 1 year left. I think that would be a perfect fit for Tennessee if they could get him. But the portal hasn't even opened. So I'm sitting here projecting on something that I don't 100% know about. But I think Altmaier, if they can get him, would be a really good fit.
That checks a lot of boxes right there. SEC experience. And I mean,
who do you like winning the conference, Jimmy? Have you thought about that much?
I like the usual. I like 2 of the usual suspects. I like Texas. I think Arch Manning is going to be phenomenal. I think he's going to be a great player. Beyond that, I like Georgia's roster, except I don't know if their quarterback is going to play at a high enough level, the Stockton kid. So I'm not really sure about them. I don't think Alabama is going to be all that. They're not going to be what they were in their heyday under Saban. I like Texas right now. That would be my favorite, in part because I think Arch Manning's going to be terrific. By the way, and this was kind of interesting. Somebody showed me this earlier today. Of the top 10 quarterbacks of the 2022 class, which included Nico and Arch Manning, and they were ranked 1 and 2, 2 and 1, whichever order you wanted to take. None of them have been outstanding in college so far, with the possible exception of is it Tyler Johnson that's at Kansas State? No, Avery Johnson.
Avery Johnson. That's right.
And now he's in the portal.
Is he really?
Out of the top 10 quarterbacks from that class, only 2 of them are still at their current school, and one of them's Arch Manning.
That's crazy,
isn't it?
This is truly a different world. And I mean, listen,
it's a different world, but in my opinion, not a better world. I am for the transfer portal, but I think they need limitations.
Yeah.
I am for paying players, but I think they need more guardrails. They just let it go. And I'm not a fan of where it is right now. And I don't know how you get the toothpaste back in the tube, but to me, they need to do something, because I don't think what we've got right now is sustainable.
Well, again, there's plenty that I'm sure that's going to be covered down on the beach. I'm expecting to see you down on the beach, sir, once again.
I'm not 100% sure. I have actually applied, but we have to sell it for me to be able to cover it. Hopefully that'll get done. But my goodness, think of all the storylines that are going to be going on.
Well, last year I thought it was going to be boring, and heck, we were basically doing breaking news.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah,
every day, every minute of every day. I do think. Well, what are some of the storylines you think we're going to hear in late May? I'm going to start with 9 conference games. I think that is going to happen, that we're going to hear down in late May. What do you think we're going to hear?
Absolutely. I think that's going to be one of them. We're going to hear more talk about the House settlement, and because who knows where it's going to stand by the time we meet. I'm interested also to hear what some other administrators or coaches or even the commissioners say about the Iamaleava Tennessee saga.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to talk to some of them and get their thoughts on it. And I don't know how many of them will go on the record. I hope that a lot of them do, but I think that would be something interesting to talk about. And I think most of us agree they need to do something, but I don't know right now what they can do that wouldn't violate federal law. So
Yeah.
And then with the House settlement, you got $20.5 million. Are we going to have a situation where a school's going to say, we're going to pay football 75? I'll give you an example for Tennessee. 75% of the revenue for Tennessee comes from football, 15% men's basketball, about 3% from women's basketball, and then the rest from all the other sports. Is that going to be the breakdown that Tennessee pays? Or are there going to be some people waving the Title IX banner and saying, no, you can't do that. You got to give the women as much as the men. Now, I don't know that that's going to happen. I don't know that it will, because there's the argument that when Title IX was formed, it had nothing to do with name, image, and likeness or revenue sharing, right? Because that wasn't around.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So, but I think you'll have an argument from some supporting Title IX that say that you need to give a better distribution to the women's sports. I think that could potentially be a topic, depending on how far along they are with the House settlement.
I've been told that that's one of the things they're worried about and why it's been delayed.
One of the things you're worried about is what?
The Title IX aspect of the
Why it's being delayed, why the
Yes.
ultimate ruling is being delayed.
Delayed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a pretty good point. If I'm not mistaken, the Biden administration basically said you need to kind of adhere to Title IX. Trump administration said no, it has nothing to do with Title IX. So we'll see where that one goes. And not to and I'm not trying to throw shade on anybody,
Mm-hmm.
but I actually think that if football is bringing in 75% of the revenue, that they need to get paid more than somebody that plays women's golf.
Well, it's 100%. And if I think they're trying to still figure out exactly how to keep all the sports under these decisions. And
That's another great point. I think you're going to see a lot of sports disband. A lot of sports going to be cut. And I hate to see that, but I think that's coming.
Well,
and I'm not sure how they're going to get around it.
the Olympic team's the one that's going to take the hit on that. That's why it's so important to me for the United States Congress to get involved in this, even though I know they don't want to, or there's some of them do and some of them don't, but because it's going to kill the Olympics. If this keeps going like it's going now, there will be no Olympic sports in college anymore.
Where in the world is Tommy Tuberville on this?
Well, he tried to do something earlier. I know that, but I don't know.
Him and Senator Manchin were trying to co-write a bill and just never picked up the steam that they wanted it to have.
No, it's just they're so far apart because one side wanted it to be all controlled by the unions. So they wanted to unionize the players, and of course the other side, that's what made it fall apart.
Well, you know who Heath Shuler is, obviously. He was in Congress for a number of years. He still tells me that he thinks that the NCAA is going to get congressional help. And yet I talk to other people that say no, they won't. But if they do, it's 4 or 5 years down the road.
Jeez.
So
if they're going to get it done, it's going to have to be now. I think.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Or it won't matter, right?
Yeah.
So we're watching how hard it is to put the genie back in the bottle right now. Think about 5 years down the road. You won't be able to do it. Right now, if they did something, they could go back to a semblance of what we had before. The players could get paid. The Olympic sports and the walk-ons would all be taken care of. And here we go.
Maybe, the system we had before where you didn't pay them except you cheated and paid them under the table, maybe that was the better system. I mean, what the heck? Just don't pay attention to any rules. Just pay people, and let them go. Give them an apartment, give them some clothes, whatever, and that seems to be a simpler.
Yeah, I mean,
simpler time. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Oh goodness.
Let's just go back to having bootleg beer, right?
Well, up here is bootleg moonshine.
Well, that's right. Yeah. Bootleg moonshine.
Corn in a jar. We heard the song.
Jimmy, you're the best. Look forward to seeing you down on the beach because we will. Because I have full confidence we're going to see you down on the beach.
Stephen West, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Always fun to chat with Jimmy Himes, the retired individual up there in Knoxville.
Hardest working retired man I ever know.
Let's take our final timeout. Final call for phone calls on the other side. If we do not hear from you, Atlanta Braves baseball is on deck. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Tom Abraham here for Valley Equipment Rental. You know, if you're a contractor installing fences, you need Valley Equipment Rental for augers of all sizes. And if you need a forklift to get those shingles up high on a roof, Valley Equipment has 10K lifts that reach to 56 feet. Valley also has tow-behind lifts that have a working height of 35 to 55 feet as well for power washing those two-story homes or doing whatever else you need to do. Lifts, forklifts, tow-behind lifts, 35 feet and up. They have your lift at Valley Equipment Rental. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Valley Equipment Rental.
Hey there, everybody. Bob Baumhauer here, letting you know that we understand that times are tough and we truly believe value matters. So, by popular demand, we brought back our Inflation Bites menu featuring scratch-made meals that will make the whole family smile and your wallet, too. Menu items start at just $7.99 and any entree comes with a free beverage. Try our classic tailgate burger for just $8.99 or our hearty Bam Bam chicken platter for $9.99. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bag compressor, leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490.
AL certain number 21014.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's
It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
Hold your block until the whistle blows.
From SEC Media Days to the National Championship game.
This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Correction that I do need to make before we exit stage left was rightfully told by two different people on X. It is the 2017 Alabama recruiting class that Wes is speaking of. That class included Najee Harris, LeBron Ray, Tua Tagovailoa, Henry Ruggs III, Devontae Smith, Jerry Jeudy, Xavier McKinney, Isaiah Buggs. Oh, who else?
Xavier McKinney was the number one pick.
Fedarian Mathis was also on that
He's
list.
pretty good.
Brian Robinson, Mac Jones. This is all one class, ladies and gentlemen. Joseph Bulovas was in that class as well. Yeah, he did pretty good that year. Did Nick Saban? Did I say Alex Leatherwood to start things out? Alex Leatherwood was the highest recruit there in 2017, along with Najee Harris and LeBron Ray.
And Leatherwood was the number one pick, played awesome his senior year, and has not really done very well in the NFL. Don't understand why. They've made out like he's lazy and this or that. I don't know. But he's played for 2 or 3 different teams already.
Certainly hate the Henry Ruggs story, though, on how that.
But Coach Saban, I think, put it the best. It doesn't take but one time. Kid never was in any trouble. One mistake.
Yeah.
But it's an awful mistake.
Yeah.
And you got to be you got to be hanging out around the right guys. If you're going to go that path, you got to be people that'll take care of you and not let you drive and not,
Yeah.
It's just sad all the way around. Not to blame anybody else for his actions, not trying to do that.
No.
But it is what it is.
256-576-4977, the telephone number. So if I'm hearing from you Tennessee fans right, and heard from a couple of them during the first hour, that you're okay with 4 losses or more this year for the Tennessee Vols. Kind of heard it from Jimmy right there as well. He was already expecting about an 8-4 year, even with Nico.
Well, they did so good. They did so much better than I anticipated, and a lot of people anticipated in the portal. Lost a lot of kids, replaced them with better kids on defense, had a good running back, played solid, played a lot of close games and won a lot of close games as well.
They did.
So,
10-3 last year.
Yeah. A great year. Lost to Georgia, lost to Ohio State, 2 other playoff teams. And who was the third loss?
The Arkansas game is always. Yeah,
and Nico ran out of bounds. I saw the highlights of that. That was one of the.
How about that?
That was a bad play.
Yeah.
Throw the damn ball. Nothing.
Just do something.
Yeah.
Do something besides run out of bounds
he's
with the ball.
Usually I wouldn't even say anything. Young quarterback. Guy made $5 million in 3 years and wanted more. I mean, that's just unbelievable to me. It is what it is. It is in one aspect, not another.
Yeah. By the way, tomorrow we're at Baumhauer's Victory Grill after a little Braves Day baseball. Speaking of those Bravos, last I checked, they were winning 1-0 as they are through 1.5 up there. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and take our final timeout. Spencer Schwallenbach against Kevin Gosman is going on as we speak.
Who played at LSU? It married
That's right.
one of Connor's friends.
Oh, I didn't
Cheerleader.
know that. I know. I remember the LSU part of it, but
married cheerleader. Yeah, I'm trying to remember her name.
I bet you are.
Taylor.
I bet.
Taylor.
I bet you are. Let's take our final time out. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Don't forget, you can listen to the Trash Pandas right now over on Talk Radio WZZN as well. Be sure and download our app. Just search 977 ESPN in your Google Marketplace or your Apple Store, depending on your device, and take us wherever you might go, including Baumhauer's tomorrow here on this particular program. It's always a good place to take the app is into Baumhauer's Victory Grill. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Rocket City, for air that's cool and clean, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get HVAC smart with Professor Green and the expert team at sensagreen.com. Now offering up to $1,500 off any new Bryant system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve. And we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to